live? Are we live? Let's find out. Let's find out. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. There. See, there's us. All right. Should be live. Let me know if you can't hear me. Let me know if I'm. Well, you can't let me know if I'm not live, but you know, you do your best to let me know. I am. I thought that I had put my defensive rankings up on my Google Drive here, just in case you wanted to go through that tonight, because obviously this time of the year, not a whole lot of NFL news, anyways. What's up, Home Dog? How you doing? Thanks for coming on through. We'll see if we get anybody else. Might just be us two hanging out for today. We'll see. Sure, somebody will stop through. Somebody was nice enough to come in and put a thumbs down before I even, started everything today on the video. I'm like, geez, somebody out there really hates me. And you know what? If you ain't hated, you ain't somebody. So there's that. I don't know. Don't know what I did to earn that thumbs down. Maybe they didn't like the thumbnail or something. I thought it was pretty nice. All right. Fantasy Football Forge. Let me get these. I know I had requests last year for my DST rankings, and I didn't have them for people for so freaking long. C coming through, baby. What's up, CC? How you doing? Good luck. Well, thank you. It's just gonna be, we're just $3. I mean, it's nothing. But I think it's nice to see how things are looking in the draft. Good practice. Good to for viewers, hopefully, to take away something too and learn a little. Just get another rep in, So I'll probably edit this down after the video goes up and everything, like tomorrow, or I'll probably put a quickened video up on Saturday with just the draft and just kind of showing the results of it and some of if I said anything interesting about any of the decisions, the draft picks. All right. We need to go to my Excel so that way we can freaking just pull these ratings on over. Watch it. Well, let's watch it. Let's watch it as it comes on in here, baby. All right. You're going to be right here. Go over here, drag, drop. My old computer, a little slow, but hey, there they are, right on the screen there. So, all right, so DSP, I can show those if you want to see them. Like I said, extraordinaire. I thought that screen said Parsons over and over. Which screen? This one? Oh, 3 Parsons. I assume, extraordinary, you're not 18, or is it because you live in, well, I think I know what state you live in, but I'm not going to say it. Well, would it be obvious? Do I have the wrong state? Would it be, I mean, are you in your home state for your team? I think I could say Ohio, but I was thinking it was a different state for some reason. I don't know if, yeah, well, you shouldn't at 16 anyways. I don't know how easy it is to lie on those things or not. I can't remember anyway. I think probably depends the state. Come on. No. Cats. You don't pay attention to them for 1 minute, they get jealous, and then they try to wreak havoc. All right. Let's see. Is there anything interesting in the news? Of course, the settlement came through today for the NFL Sunday ticket class action suit stuff. Yeah, those two. There's a reason I don't even care. Don't even care. The jury enters a 4.096 billion verdict against the NFL. I think the NFL is going to be taking this to higher courts to try and fight it. This whole case has to do with basically the NFL purposefully. I would assume maybe the technical words might be in collusion with the network stations have been beefing up the cost of the NFL ticket. I would say it's probably true. Is it to an extent of illegality? I don't know. I'm not in court. And it's not really getting covered a whole lot. But the people who signed up might be able to get a little bit of their money back. Based on this verdict, they would. But, of course, the NFL is going to fight this tooth and nail forever. It's already been in the courts for 10 years, I believe. And it'll probably be in the courts for like another 10 years. And then there's probably something else that they can do. So by the time that they have to pay people, you know, half the people will be dead. Or at least like a quarter of it. Like they'll only have to pay out $3 billion anyways because so many people won't ever request their money back. I think Jamari Thrash could break out in fantasy this year if he gets playtime. How is he going to get playtime though? I don't think he'll get playtime in that group, but it's okay. He's going to learn. I think he's your replacement for your Amari Cooper. I think he's the Cooper replacement. He's not. I don't think he'll do anything enough this year for fantasy. For purposes of underdog best ball drafts, maybe. Maybe. Let's see here. So let's see if there's any other news besides the antitrust stuff that came out. Missouri's going to put together the best deal that they can to keep the Chiefs because I believe that they denied the owner a certain deal that he had requested. So they're trying to, keep the Chiefs in town while not quite building them a whole new stadium for free. Understandable to some extent, for sure. Feels like taxpayers shouldn't be having to build these stadiums completely. At least I get the argument for why they would, but I don't think it quite works out. He's looked like the best wide receiver in camp. That's good. You're still young. This camp news this time of the year, man. Everybody's really good. Everybody's looking the best. Everybody's at the best of their health. Everybody's the healthiest they've ever been. All of the above. So, you want me to get this started because you want to go to bed, right? Sure. Because it's there. Hope I joined the right one. Is that 12 person, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Normal draft. Looks like it. Okay. There we go. So, we'll get into this because we can always do other stuff later. Other than that, I see a bunch of highlights. Let's go over to. This is all. I'm going by new by day. 12 hours ago. I see nothing. Sunday ticket stuff. By the way, apparently, cancel your Sunday ticket with YouTube. They'll offer you $100 off. So just keep an eye out. Can you guys hear my cat in the background going absolutely insane? You get $100 off for your next season, apparently, offer. Jason Kelsey says he's losing weight and getting healthier in retirement. Well, that's good. All right, let's move over to the fantasy football. Did you see the one Cleveland? No, I haven't watched any of the UFL yet. I was watching the XFL, and I just kind of got let down. I think when they got canceled. Going nuts. Um, oh, that's right. They changed. They're one of the teams, dude. That shows how much I've watched baseball in recent years. I follow. I get updates on my phone for Brewers games and the scoring of the games and everything. But other than that, like that's it. I forgot that they changed their name. That's been some years now too. First at bat. No, I didn't see that. What's his name? Bat Knoll? First at bat Knoll. Give me his name. Achan positioned for a fantasy breakout season. I mean, maybe I don't know, especially for where he's getting drafted. He's getting drafted really high. I don't think he needs more train. He plays first base. Let's see here. Cleveland. Oh, I'm on the clock. CeeDee Lamb, baby. Do you see that? With 13 seconds left. Came in here. All right, so I think CeeDee Lamb is Christian McCaffrey number 1 overall, CeeDee Lamb 2 overall for the draft anyways. So definitely happy to take CeeDee Lamb here with pick 3. The interesting thing that we'll see is how does this work out? You taking wide receiver first? How do the running backs work out? Just a heads up here for best ball. Obviously, guys who have huge weeks are going to be more important than consistency. You want a little bit of consistency. You don't want to get no points in any given week from any spot. But the rosters are 3 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 bench, 1 flex spot, 1 tight end, 1 quarterback. And so if you're not familiar with best ball, you don't set your lineups each week. It just automatically chooses the players who score the most points for you that would fill out 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex, etc. And so injuries, of course, can play a huge role. That's the biggest part of the gambling aspect of this, is especially when you're drafting this early. You're going to want to be able to, if you're focusing a lot of your assets in one direction with one player here in the offseason, one injury can kill a lot of your odds of cashing out, scoring in the top 3 in your leagues. So you got to diversify a little bit when you're doing these on a massive scale. But they're fun. Starts with the J, last name no. Okay, Cleveland Guardians first baseman. Josh Naylor. First at bat. Not Josh Naylor. Johensky Knoll. Yeah, that's right. You said it was Knoll. Okay. John Kensky Knoll. I don't know how that's pronounced. G6. Where do we value Jalen Wright in Dynasty? I would say pretty highly. I don't know what in regards to. I don't know. What are you looking for? A player comp? In terms of draft still, because I wouldn't know exactly where to tell you for draft, but if I had to guess, I would say does 3rd round seem too high for like a 10-team league? Oh geez, I'm maybe a little bit too low there too. I need a little bit more. Like, I would take Barkley if he falls to you. Saquon? Isn't he gone? I would take him too. I have him as my number 3 running back, Barkley. I don't know if I'll keep him higher than like Taylor, but definitely over Gibbs. Where do we value right into? I don't know how to say it without like. I value him pretty highly, G6. There's some competition there with HM, but I think there's a decent chance that he would still be like the 1A and HN would be the 1B come 2 years from now. He's a little bit better built, you know, just to withstand the down in and down out of football here. So Saquon Barkley will definitely be, I think, the choice here for me. I was just talking about HN, and I think he's going at his absolute ceiling for the most part. It might not even be the best running back to have on that offense. But Barkley goes. So let's see here. We're going to be choosing pretty shortly here. It's a bit of a... Yeah, we can wait till that next little group. So we're going to be in the wide receivers. I have DJ Moore ranked quite highly. So I'm going to go, I think, with what my rankings would do and get Deebo Samuel because I didn't quite click on it early enough. That's okay. Fine with it. Might end up working out better that way anyways. Sam Laporta, Travis Kelce coming up. I don't really like to take tight end this early, especially when I can take 3 tight ends. I found it best for me last season taking tight ends later. I think so. I'm lower on Derrick Henry than some of these guys, but yeah, you know what? Let's take the risk. Let's take the high upside here. I'm not gonna have a whole lot of exposure to Achane, so let's just get it out of the way. Let's get one Achane in. I love the dude, my guy. So I'm gonna take Sam Laporta if he falls. Yeah, I could have taken Sam Laporta there. I find I can get pretty good tight end output from some of the later tight ends. My best drafts last year, where I did win money, in this were for the most part the drafts where I just took 3 tight ends right at the end, and they got me good enough production when I hit it correctly. All right, so he homered in his first at bat. Yeah. Oh, how hard should this be to find the video? We live in the age of video, and yet sometimes you get a million words instead of any freaking video whenever you want to see a video on something. Or you gotta watch 30 seconds of a video before you can finally see. And of course, another 15 seconds of advertisement. Oh. Alright. Keeping my eye on it for the home run from Johanski Naylor. No. Junkensi Knoll. Yeah, I'm on MLB's website. Oh. Yeah, I probably could have gone on Twitter first, but I'm not logged in on Twitter on this other computer. And I'm not showing you my Twitter login on here because this has nothing to do with broken bat. Foul. We lost his bat. He just tossed it, huh? Wow. You go from a toss bat to a home run. Just got over there. Nice. That's how you do it. You know, he's not going to get embarrassed by anything. Okay. So, we're coming up. I'm going to have pick 37. We've got 2 wide receivers and running backs so far. For the most part, we'll continue on that trend. Of course, we'd like DJ Moore. So it looks like a lot of tight ends and running backs are expected to be going right around here. Late 3rd, early 4th. So if you're looking to beat that out, yeah, early to mid 3rd is about when you've got to get on in there if you want your guy out of this group of tight ends and quarterbacks that are going in the 4th round. So that's good to see. Well, not good to see, but that's, you know, the type of stuff that we're looking for. And that's going to include Trey McBride kind of at the end of that. Patrick Mahomes into the 50. Okay. Amari Cooper's good. He's a good value where he's going. He's not going too early. You like all your bad wide receivers and you don't like your good ones? He's going to get targeted heavily again in this system. Alright, there we go. Very nice. Thanks for the recommendation on that home run clip. He'll play. It's fine. I will take Christian Kirk over him, though. This is full PPR. So it's that, or yeah, we can get another running back to in a moment. But for now, I believe I have Christian Kirk ahead, so I'll go that route. But Amari Cooper right there. G6. I got offered Brian Thomas and Wright for Devonta Smith and Caleb Williams. Wow. I mean, it depends. No, it hardly depends where your team is at. Yeah, obviously, it depends a little bit what you got on your team and everything. I'm off the top of my head, I'm thinking no. Not Caleb Williams, even for those two. I don't think it's worth it. So I have James Cook as like a top 7 running back. So we're going to take Cook here. So we have the 3rd pick, by the way, we're playing from. So this is good for you, Extraordinaire, by the way. I think you voted, you had a top 3 pick. I wouldn't do that. So Brian Thomas, I have some concerns for. The ceiling is really, really high. If he develops into a full wide receiver, you know, I think there is enough. Well, there's definitely enough athleticism there and everything that he could be one of the best wide receivers in the league in 3 or 4 years. But I not too sure of that happening. You know what I mean? Like I just thought he was more of a 2nd rounder than a 1st round talent by a little ways. But I understood the ceiling once again there. I understand why you would take him in the 1st round of the actual NFL draft. And then for Wright, I mean, there's just too many blockades in there. It's a running back. It's a short-term thing. Like Wright, maybe you get 4 years you know, probably you get like 4 years of something great from if he turns out. Whereas Caleb Williams, you can get like 15 years of something great from. So to me, they're alone. I wouldn't do that. And Devonta Smith, I think, is coming into his prime. So like right now, I mean, I would be willing to get rid of Devonta Smith, but you add that on top of getting rid of Caleb Williams for those two. I'm not about that. I would start thinking about now if I were you. I don't know if you're talking to me or G6, or what exactly you mean by that, football extraordinary. No problem, G6. Thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate you. It's nice to see you. Well, I mean, you're in the best kind of league, so you're obviously all year round. Yeah, that just seems like too much to me. I know you gotta make moves, but if quarterback, no, you can get Jane Daniels in the hundreds, get Trevor Lawrence back there, and then just finish that out with like a Kirk Cousins, a Matt Stafford, a Baker, a Geno, a Will Levis, some sort of upside there in the 170s. Yeah, I mean CJ's fine. Same with Kyler and Joe Burrow. It's nothing against these guys. It's just, Jaden Daniels, I think, has just about same upside or more because of his rushing ability. I do expect to probably get injured at some point, though. Just hopefully not for long. Um, I mean, I just prefer, for the most part, waiting on my quarterbacks and my tight ends. I can get more relatively close production out of guys later on in the draft from those positions. Whereas wide receiver, running back, for the most part, especially, you get later on and like you're really throwing darts at guys for running back position who might not even play all year. Like you start getting into the guys who are third string backups even. Yeah, yeah, that's enticing. He goes pretty late, but he was like, he's not miss. People aren't taking him too high this year because you look at his split last year when Debo was healthy and when Debo was not healthy, and there's a pretty strong correlation to less use. Where the heck? I got a hair in my eye and I don't know. Oh, it's coming from like underneath. I don't know where it's coming from. Long hair is a hassle. Never do it, except if you want to. All right, so Xavier Worthy, a lot of upside. This seems, man, is this where we're already at for the wide receivers? I'm glad I got 3 already. Yeah, I mean, I get why people start taking those quarterbacks and tight ends here when you start to look at the wide receivers that are there, running backs. I mean, here's my dude at 88. I'll probably have to take him here. So I'm going to take a running back here. Do I want to take 2? We'll try. We'll see. Maybe not. Christian Watson. He just went right in front of me. I'm going to. I don't know. I'm freezing. Go for it. We'll go for it. Xavier Worthy. Mr. Upside there. Okay, well, that keeps us good on the bye weeks there. 2 Miami dudes, though. It could go... No, not 2 Miami dudes. What am I thinking? So this is full PPR. Still like Samir White. I don't know about the upside for Aaron Jones. I don't know that Minnesota offense is going to be anything. I'm going to go with my how I have them ranked on that. I mean, I really like these two running backs. I have these two running backs ranked higher than this one, even though I took Achane before him. I would take Kittle next. Kittle got taken right here, pick 67. So this goes for, there are 18 rounds. So 4, 5, 6, 7. And you want at about 7, 5, 3. 3 is the general breakdown. 3 tight ends, 3 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 7 receivers. Jason will be gone, I think, by the time I'm back up. Yeah. You gotta imagine at some point this season, JSN will be the better wide receiver between him and Tyler Lockett, even. Which, it's sad, but in terms of Tyler Lockett, having a long, good career. Looks like that's coming to an end, though. So I think this is a nice spot. Jake Ferguson. In terms of just value compared to some of the other tight ends that you would have to take. Evan Ingram for sure. I don't think he'll make it to me. So these are some of the guys who are falling a little bit. We're at pick 83. We got Keon Coleman, Evan Ingram, Kyler Murray. I wouldn't quite call that a fall yet. So there goes Keon Coleman. So he's one of those guys you might be able to get a little bit late. Makes sense. People are worried about Keon. What do I like better, Love or Caleb Williams? Well, I am a Green Bay Packers fan. Technically not born, but raised in Green Bay. So, I haven't seen Caleb play a down, in the NFL yet. I'm not, we'll put it this way, I'm still hesitant about Jordan Love and whether he's the guy or not, or whether he just kind of went on a heater at the end of last year. He's been known to have really high upsides and really low downsides, and we saw that last year. We saw him come out and I thought get lucky on several throws and whatnot and have a really good start to the season for the first several weeks. And then we saw him have a stretch where he really struggled, and then we saw for the second half of the season him be possibly the best quarterback in the NFL. And that's where I have a little bit of faith in it. But I mean, at this point in time, right now, I like Jordan Love better. If I had to bet between the two of them, who's going to be better in 5 years, I lean a little bit towards Caleb Williams, but it's definitely not risk-free, in terms of Caleb Williams. And I would say maybe a little bit less of it. We just haven't seen it at all. So a little bit less of the higher upside there, G6 for Caleb Williams, or a little bit more risk for Caleb Williams just because we haven't seen it at all. Joe Burrow, yes, definitely around this time period. I think he just went at pick 88. I think it's a very good value there too. I agree with that. Yeah, but you're right on that. That's where, at least sometimes, if he would have been here, or even here, I'll take that quarterback there. That seems like a good deal. Dak, it seems like a pretty good deal here. Jordan Love might be a good deal here. He isn't like Joe Burrow. We're getting into the guys who they have to be efficient. They don't give you any rushing work. So I'm looking at these wide receivers. I don't like any of those three. I don't like that. Romeo Doubs offers some. I mean, man, the wide receivers this year, it gets pretty gross pretty quickly. Running backs here, we at least still have some names. So I don't think I want to take both Miami running backs. I'm seeing Adonai Mitchell is like somebody who I actually like. Might have to push those off. What do we have here for quarterback? Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels. I think I'm going to take Jaden Daniels here. I see David Njoku. Brock Bowers. He's the number 2 tight end. I know he's still going to get, I think, more receptions than the number 1 tight end. Jaden Daniels is top 7 quarterback upside. He's going to get more receptions than Michael Mayer, Brock Bowers. But I don't know about how many more. I mean, Devonta Adams is going to require whatever a large chunk of the targets. They're going to be a run first team, and that's why I've got Zamir White. For purposes of something like this, I don't mind Brock Bowers so much because he'll probably be inconsistent. I think I'm gonna go Tony Pollard. Or there was a wide receiver I liked, wasn't there? Adonai Mitchell. We'll push that. We'll hopefully get that around that. I'm going to go Tony Pollard. I don't love Tony Pollard, but we got to get some of these running backs that we know at least are going to be playing each and every week. Such a high injury position. Man, wide receivers really get yucky. So, like, I see upside for Josh Palmer. I get it for Khalil Shakir. Dobbs too. Adonai Mitchell. I mean, Mike Williams for purposes of a best ball draft. I understand that, but I don't like him otherwise. Brandon Cooks. I mean, Dontavian Wicks, but there's Jerry Jeudy. There's a sliver of that upside. Jahan Dotson, because I have Jaden Daniels, I think would be not a bad idea. QJ. I just want to see these ADPs, have them available. Jermaine Burton definitely might end up being something. These are in the 150s. This goes up to 200, and we're already thinking about drafting guys like Jermaine Burton. It's insane. Michael Wilson. You know, Luke might have. I mean, he's probably going to be the wide receiver 3 if we don't get Jahan Dotson. We could go with Luke. I assume that was Jaden Daniels, right? That's that rushing upside, baby. Like Jalen Tolbert. Just such risky, but upside at least. Odell. I think he could be a touchdown machine, kind of, whatever. I think he'd be good enough in fantasy due to a decent amount of touchdowns. Sure. I mean, I don't disagree with him as a quarterback, but it doesn't disregard the fact that rushing yards are 2.5 times more important than the passing ability. And the system's a really nice fit. The players that he has around him are good. He's in a good situation to have some success, and I'm not so bold as to say that I know who's going to be a good quarterback and who's going to be a bad quarterback. Like, I could be wrong anyways. But you bring that kind of rushing upside that not too many quarterbacks have, and that's why you rank these guys quite highly. So Jaden Daniels, for where he's going in drafts, is a good value. It's just a shame that he's built like a twig, because he's Kyler Murray. It could be getting injured every single season. All right, so there's some running backs still hanging on here. Adonai Mitchell went, just darn it, at 114. Tajay, Blake Corum start going. Trey Benson's going to be available. Trevor Lawrence is another quarterback I really think about. And compared to some of these wide receivers right now, I really don't dislike these guys a whole lot worse than any of these. So I'm thinking Trevor Lawrence or Trey Benson. We've got 4 of our 5 running backs. We're probably going to, with Jaden Daniels, we're probably going to want to go probably 3 quarterback. Leaving some running backs. Hopefully, yeah, there will be. So, wait, I think Lad McConkey went a while ago. Otherwise, I would agree at this point, but. Lad went. So, Austin Eckler, another Washington, but Jerome Ford, Charbonnet. I mean, this is a situation where Nick Chubb wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. You just hope that some of these guys can make it. But because I'm going 3 quarterback, I don't know. Tell you, it'd be nice if we could get like Pat Freiermuth, John Dotson, but at 142 in the next turn. Jerry Jeudy went. I had him on. I had starred him. So we saw sends Trevor Lawrence, Wicks, Benson, Brown, Gus, then Cooks. Oh, shoot. I just totally spaced out on that Cooks pick, huh? Well, okay. What can you do? I would have probably gone with the running back. Hawkinson's probably, I wonder. 146. He's going to be gone for half the season, and then when he comes back, he's going to have a rookie throwing to him. But if I'm going 3 tight ends, not exactly the worst dart throw to throw. The only issue is I really like. Okay, I'm gonna put Benson out just because I got. If I don't get one of the quarterbacks, wide receivers, or whatever, any other position to mash up with Jaden Daniels, don't mind that. But where are we? Jelani Woods is a guy who I definitely have on my like. He's going to be on most of my teams. Get him right at the end of the draft for now. He'll probably get drafted up here by the end of the season. MHJ goes, man, he goes much earlier. Marvin Harrison Jr. is like a second to third rounder. I don't know what the quarterback there and everything. He's definitely got the talent too. I just don't know about the system quarterback. I would say he should be fantasy relevant and be solid. And I think that his ADP is about appropriate for the balancing the upside and just, the actual situation surrounding him. I mean, he could be Antonio Brown. Like, he's in a situation that he could get that many targets, and he has the speed, the shiftiness, just like that something special about him that he could be that explosive, that dangerous with the ball in his hands once he gets the ball. And so that's not out of the possibility. And AJ Brown's even rookie season, I think, was pretty darn good, like 90 receptions, maybe something like that. Good enough. That might work fine. That should work. Saturday. There goes Pat Freiermuth. Alright, well, if Jahan Dotson makes it, we're going to go J. Dot. We still need another running back. Marshawn Lloyd, I think, is very, very good option. Jalen Wright, I think, is a solid option, especially if there's injury, and we know that there could be an injury in that Miami backfield. I also think Ray Davis, Antonio Gibson actually might not be that bad, especially for full PPR. J.K. Dobbins, I think, is a steal. Okay, we'll wait probably on that running back. And for now, we will take Jahan Dotson. Which probably means nah to that. Do we have a tight end yet? I could go TJ. I really don't want to. I got Luke Musgrave above TJ. What's the quarterbacks looking like? Quarterbacks are about to start to go. Before we get into terrible territory. I think I might just take Matt Stafford. Oh, or Jermaine Burton. We only need one more? Nah, we'll do Matt Stafford. So we've got, for the weeks that Jane Daniels is hurt or doesn't have big games, we got Trevor Lawrence, Matt Stafford to back that up. That seems like a pretty good trio. Should be getting some good games out of those. Some high variance. Noon Saturday, and I'll send it. The link. Okay. Take Aaron over Matt Stafford. Stafford's got more weapons. And he's not coming off of that injury. I don't know how I might have Aaron Rodgers ranked higher than Stafford in my rankings. Very well might. Yeah, I do have Aaron one spot ahead of Stafford. But I just followed the ADP on that one, I guess. I mean, I don't think Mike Williams is anything special. I think he's a good deep threat. Now, I know it's hard to tell. It's hard to make the argument for him being special because every time that it looks like he might be, he gets injured. But that's part of it, too. Availability is huge. And he's... what's the last time that he's been available at all? He's just coming off of a major injury himself. Garrett Wilson's fantastic, obviously, but... did Garrett Wilson have the best rookie season ever? No, Puka Nacua did. Man. And they both got weapons. And they're both only like have the two weapons, but I think it's a little bit of a better and it's a better offensive mind too. Just the system offensively around. But I have Aaron Rodgers ranked one spot ahead of him. It's a horse apiece. Depends the day. All right. If I'm doing this right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have 5 more picks. 1. It's not right. 1, 2, 1, 2. 3, 4, and then 5. Pick number 5 is 214. So we just make that like our other wide receiver. What do we got here? We got Jalen Hyatt, Elijah Moore, Josh Reynolds. Oof. Oof. Oh, Melton. Honestly. That's rough. What do we got here from the running backs? Wow, Jalen Wright falling here. I think we would. Wow, stupid H-hand. All right, we got a pick coming up. Do I really want to invest in this Washington offense this much? I don't. Um. All right, we're gonna go Dobbins. All right, so would noon Saturday work? And I'll send you the link. Yes, correct. That should work fine. And then I assume it's not recording until you click record, so we'll have a chance to chat up a little bit beforehand. All right, so I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and take Noah Fant here. I think there's a chance he has a solid bounce back year. The only question in doing that is, should I have done somebody else first? We can still get Chig. Jonnu Smith might be solid. Jelani Woods. Zach Ertz. Ben Snott. Alright. Alright, cool. Good to know. Yeah, I can introduce myself. You don't gotta worry about that. Just, send it on over. I mean, just pass the mic. That's all I meant. I don't mean to send me a pre-written introduction. Okay, so we're looking at 190, 195. We need a wide receiver, 2 tight ends. We've got Jelani. We might get Chig. Or we might get Zach Ertz. Or either of these two. Okay. So how would we order these? We order them. Jelani, Chig, Snot, Johnny, Zach. Even though I have Zach like higher ranked, but there's a chance. There's a chance. I don't know. I don't know which one to trust. Okay. Got our running backs. We could use a wide receiver. We don't really want a week 7 bye, a wide receiver. And Jacksonville, Matt Stafford. Oh, you know what? Demarcus Robinson with Stafford could make some sense. Right? Yeah, I know I've seen you do it previously and you just went like double cam off. Are you going to keep your cam off? If you want to do it more like a podcast style, I'm down to just keep the cams off. If you want to do it otherwise, then we can throw the cams on. It doesn't matter, but I'll just kind of match whatever you're doing. Well, I guess I'll find out if you got your face shown or not. Okay, so Michael Wilson might make it here. Now, here's the question: do we go with Demarcus Robinson because he matched up with Matt Stafford and just go for that high variance there, or do we go with the guy who I have probably fairly more highly ranked in Michael Wilson? Tight ends did just fly off the board, but we should be okay with Jelani Woods. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, people should have gotten their tight ends. This is the one person who still needs a tight end, but they're not going to be going before me. Otherwise, we got 3 tight end, 2 tight end, 3 tight end. We'll risk it. We'll risk it for Demarcus Robinson. That's a pretty good boom or bust little group here, I think, between Xavier Worthy to Demarcus Robinson. Like, you just hope that one of them's having big weeks. And hopefully we don't even need that, but, like, one of those 4 goes off. I like that. I don't trust either one of them, any of them, like, on a single week in and week out basis, really. But one of them should be able to have a pretty big week most weeks. I'm just gonna. It will be sent via email. Oh, the link. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get our way here, I think, with Jelani Woods, because there's almost no way, right, that you're gonna be drafting another tight end there, bud. Bada bing, bada boom. Give me Jelani Woods. Love that. Love that. I might be so bold this season as to just take Jelani Woods. I don't know. Probably not that bold. But, like, last pick of the draft, Jelani Woods, and maybe pair him up with, I don't know, shit, Noah Fant. Something like that, right at the end of drafts. We'll see. There's some decent values, I think, at tight end, though. That's the only issue. I've not been able to study much on the wide receivers, so I'll be going on the fly. The best thing is if it's a bad conversation or something like that, it doesn't have to see the light of air. So, don't worry about it too much. Alright, so after this, there wasn't really any news, was there? Chiefs wide receiver situation. That's everyone. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. It's Musgrave, right? Kraft is out, leaving the door open for Musgrave to claim the tight end 1 position. He is the tight end 1. He is gonna always be the better receiving tight end between the two. Well, maybe not always, but some people, man, make something out of nothing. Nice. I think I do all my like preview stuff too early or something. People feel like right after the draft. Next season, if I'm doing those videos next season, I'll extend them out over a longer period of time and look at teams more individually. I did them by division this year, so I broke it down a little bit more, but still, I think it was a little too early. Some of it. All right, so do I do? I mean, I could do Mike Gesicki from Cincinnati, possibly here. Jatavian Sanders. Aiden Hurst. I don't trust that. Daniel Bellinger gonna be the starting tight end of the New York Giants. Gonna have an opportunity there. For Zach Ertz, who I think gonna be I think has a pretty good shot of having a big role there in Washington. But I did already get Jahan Dotson. What do you think? I mean, I feel like Joe Burrow has proven that he doesn't really care to throw to his tight ends a whole lot. So I got the rookie, Jatavian, who a lot of people thought would go earlier. But it's a rookie tight end. I don't love that. Or third-year Daniel Bellinger, who's, New York Giants. But he looked good his rookie season. I like him quite a bit. Yeah, I feel you on the Mike Gesicki. I feel you. I don't like it a whole lot, though. Could always just roll with those two tight ends. Like, let's see what we got for wide receiver and running back. Yeah, honestly, I do think Audric Estime could end up being like the starting running back. And there's a lot of injuries that you always have to be concerned about. I could just roll with the two tight ends. One of my winning leagues, my tight ends, I didn't get any points from them like all season long. I just had two of them, and they both got injured. Can't remember who I had. That's pretty bad, but I pretty much didn't get any points from him. I can't choose a tight end. I'm just gonna go with Audric Estime here. Give me a sixth running back. I don't mind having a little extra running back depth in case of emergency. So I know that's gonna hurt my projections. If I had taken a tight end here, this would probably be over 3,000. But this gives me a lifeline in case somebody gets injured for a long time here. Or like if J.K. Dobbins isn't anything, if he kind of sucks. And then Audric Estime ends up being something. All right. Wow, that's crazy. I could use the Fantasy Pros Draft Assistant on here too. It's too late now. I'm not taking Calvin Austin. 2 years ago, I would have. So Drake May goes undrafted in this. Bo Nix undrafted. Russell, Justin Fields. And Bo Nix probably shouldn't be going undrafted, I don't feel like. Alright, so we got Jaden Daniels, Trevor Lawrence, Matt Stafford for the quarterbacks. Bye weeks are nice and spread out, so that's nice. And yeah, I mean, I think all of them have their upsides. Jaden Daniels hopefully will be the guy who's giving me, 2 out of every 3 weeks. Be taking 22 points away from him or something, with a couple of 30-point spike weeks along the way from any given number of them. Running backs, Achane. I think it's a little early, but I do see, because it's best ball, I'm a little bit more optimistic about the possibility of just some spike games from him. And then I really like the value, though. You get James Cook, Zamir White, where you can get those guys. I mean, I feel like Tony Pollard, that's probably kind of decent value, like 100 picks into a draft. And same with J.K. Dobbins. I like that value. So I like the value here, and especially these two. I'm probably going to bed after this. Um, yeah, CeeDee Lamb, especially full PPR, think could end up with like the number one wide receiver. That would go a long ways. I didn't intend to draft Debo. Got him. That's all right. And then Christian Kirk to fill out my top three. I like that. And I like these four just because I think they all have boom or bust kind of pathways throughout the entirety of the season. And then I took two who I think are sleepers and will hold down my tight end fort just fine. A little boom or bust and a little bit of consistency maybe from Noah Fant week in and week out. They can stay healthy. Give me production from there. I like it. I like it. Let me know what you think in the comments for anything, anybody viewing this video that I cut. And I think we're going to look at my DST. You want to look at my DST rankings, bud? The roll. What's up, homie? The roll. You want to see? I just finished the draft, but you want to check it out? One with Jaden Daniels. I picked 94. I reached a little bit for him, but I think he's a good value anyways at that point still. All right, see you, man. Thank you for coming on through. I will see you on Saturday. Trevor Lawrence, Matt Stafford there to back that up, you know, because Jaden Daniels probably getting injured on his best ball anyway, so take three quarterbacks, two or three. Running back room, I really love these two. And then I took one more because I didn't really like, I couldn't choose between the tight ends at the end of the draft, and so I just kind of went with it. One of my paying out lineups last year, one of my better lineups, only had two tight ends, and neither one of them like scored any points all season long. So I know that you can get by with low production from your tight ends anyways. So it's, with all the injuries and everything that can go on, I thought, I'll add one more running back in there. Started off with pick 3, so I went CeeDee Lamb. Debo actually got drafted for me. Same with Brandon Cooks. Both of those I got auto-drafted on. I mind farted. But then Christian Kirk, Xavier Worthy, Brandon Cooks. Well, basically these four, I like the boom or bust for basketball there. Between the four of them, I think most weeks one of them should be having a pretty big game, and hopefully all three of them are, you know, pretty consistent. And then I got two of my sleepers at tight end, so I love the value, and especially Jelani Woods. But he's my boom or bust, and then Noah Fant kind of hopefully giving me 6 to 8 points each week with a couple of touchdowns here and there to boost that up. But Jelani Woods, you know, might give me a couple of tight end 1 weeks here and there. Hoping. So, I got some DST rankings if you want to see. How have you been, the roll? How have you been, man? My DST rankings here. So here you can see some of the process. I'm still waiting on a couple of numbers from PFF before I will end up finalizing these. But they are in order of my rank here. So I've got the Jets at number 1, just because I feel like comfortable from where they were a year ago. So I ended up putting them at the top of this list. But, you know, obviously Dallas should still be good, but new D coordinator there. So, you know, things could be changing. Baltimore lost a lot of pieces. Things are changing there as well. So I'm just not confident in them. Like, you know, I just think there's some risk. San Francisco's had a couple of fair amount of turnover, and I don't know how well they've done to recoup over that turnover. So that's kind of that next tier. I have the Jets really in their own tier in my rankings. And then obviously, you know, Cleveland should be very good. If they don't make changes this year, I could see them getting exploited a little bit just by teams knowing what they're going to be doing every single play. being overly aggressive. Oh, see, I didn't really like the Devon Achan pick for the. I don't mind it for best ball as much, but I think they're gonna limit. I think he's gonna have to be extremely efficient, and he obviously has the ability to be extremely efficient as he was last year. But I don't think he's gonna get a whole lot of carries, so I think he's gonna be a little boom or bust, a little unreliable for how highly he's going as a top 25 pick. I think that's too high for me. I think there's a pretty decent chance that what's his face will outscore him again this year, if he doesn't get injured. And then you got Jalen Wright, who I do think will get some of the work too. So for the DSTs, Buffalo didn't really miss a beat last year with all the injuries they had. They lost some players and all, but they also regained some players, gained some players, like what they've done with the draft a couple of years. So I like some of the replacement players coming through, and they'll be starting out healthy again, anyways. But a lot of those guys who had to play last year while they were injured showed up and played well. So expect that again. Las Vegas is my big sleeper. They'll probably be who I'm going to end up with in my big league as one of my final picks of the draft, just knowing that they'll be there. They have like the best schedule, I believe. Number 8, 8th best schedule for DSTs, which when you compare them to so Buffalo has second best, Pittsburgh 7th best, right up there. But last year they finished 7th best, 8th best via the DVOA. And then I'm doing some of the PFF stuff. But this ECR of 19, I think, is way too low on Las Vegas' defense. I trust Antonio Pierce, so I like that a lot. Pittsburgh, as you saw, good schedule for them, right behind them. Indy, I like that. Possibly a little bit sketchy, a little risky. Kansas City might be a little bit safer. Might end up flipping those around. Houston, I think, still risky. Like, things could come together. They might not. New Orleans was really good last year, so although I'm a little bit, I think they're getting a little long in the teeth. I don't know about a whole lot of upside there. They finished 8th last year, so can't ignore that completely. And then I think Philly could turn it around. I don't know that they will for sure, but I do have some faith in that. So I like that pick. Miami did really well last year. They were the 5th ranked defense last year. Also a change there in defensive coordinator. So some cool question marks, and like all their edges go down. They did make some efforts to replace that, but they're just not going to be at full health to start the season. So they could be a team you might be able to find even 6 weeks into the year on your waiver wire and pick up for a better, stronger second half. New England, always safe. Cincinnati, a bank on a couple of guys turning it around. I think they got a lot of nice pieces there. New York Giants are actually kind of my cutoff. Surprisingly, the New York Giants were last year's 14th ranked DST in fantasy football. So Detroit's a team who has a really, really tough record. And what I did for the schedule was the first 8 weeks and then the playoff weeks. All right. I looked at there's not much news right now going on, so there wasn't really much to cover in the news. Nothing interesting, at least, really. I can scroll down here on Reddit a little bit more, but I don't know. You guys have any questions, or we can end this here now? Let me know. I'll give it a moment in the comments. Where are we drafting from? Let's end that poll here. Uh, 1 through 3 or 7 through 9, most likely, it appears, based on the voting. So 2, 2, 1, 1. Okay. Let's see here. The consensus last season seemed to be wide receiver heavy during early picks. What's your strategy? I'm gonna agree with that this year for the most part, unless you got like pick number 1. I mean, I think there's some running backs that you can get a little decent value on. The wide receivers to me disappear after like you can get 4 of them without completely ignoring your running back. I mean, look at this. Pick ADP 60, well, and that's a little high maybe, but like Xavier Worthy going 60. I don't know. The wide receivers get depleted pretty quickly this year. Colts GM says Anthony Richardson will be a full go when training camp begins, so that's good. Quarterback 5 off the board. So are you in at this cost? I have to say I am, just because of where he's actually going, despite the fact that he's like maybe the 5th quarterback off of the board. He's going like 6-ish round or something like that for a guy who could be a top 3 quarterback easily. To me, that's fine. You know, depends the mood and everything if I'm going to end up taking him, but I don't mind it. But what I will say is when you can also get Jaden Daniels like 7 rounds later, who I would say I think has a pretty good shot at being like literally, I have it pinned down to the quarterback 7, because that is what Kyler Murray did his rookie season. And I think there's going to be a lot of similarities between what those two can produce. And that is also what... Is it what I had Anthony Richardson as last year in the games that he played or something like that? Another high-end rushing kind of quarterback. No, Jalen Hurts. Several years ago, I had him ranked 7th. I believe the year that he went off and ended up with like as the quarterback 1. Now I don't expect that in year 1, but that 7 number just feels right to me about where to rank him, or where he could very well end the season. Don't need to rank him that high because nobody's taking him that high. Patrick Mahomes fantasy outlook QB1 should be. Garrett Wilson has put up. Yeah, we know. It seems like they didn't know what else to talk about, so they just. Yeah, everybody knows this. Let's see. 5 players to fade in single quarterback dynasty startups: Laporta, Williams, Jacobs, White, Higgins. Which Williams? Huh. I would not want to be fading Laporta. I don't really care how high he's going in dynasty. He has a chance to be extremely important. Jacobs, I can understand that in dynasty. White, I could understand that. Higgins, and I don't know about Williams. Higgins, I don't know that I would want to fade that. Unpopular opinion: standard scoring should be more popular in today's NFL. I don't mind standard. Whose ADP makes no sense right now? For me, it's Ayuk's and London. I mean, Ayuk had a really great season. And London actually has a quarterback. There's a reason for that. I would not say that they don't make sense, but I could understand. Like, for me, Ayuk, I did not expect to have him as highly ranked as I do, but the wide receivers, it's weird. They're not fantastic. Like, there's a drop off immediately, and then there's a good chunk of them that are pretty good for a while, and then there's another drop off. What a weird hypothetical conversation. This comes. Ayuk gets traded to why? That's not happening. Why even think about it? All right. Well, I haven't seen any kind of demand to stick around here. Olave versus Adams versus London versus MHJ. Olave, MHJ, London, Adams in that order. Yeah, I think we're gonna be able to call it there. And we'll be back next week. I will put out a cut up compilation of this video over the weekend for the draft portion of it. Good night. Oh, you're still around. Nice. Good luck with that. Is that it? Oak versus Oak State? There's some interesting players in that. All right. Ending it. Peace out, everybody. I will see you Saturday. Mr. Extraordinaire. Bye-bye.